Hi, welcome back to BG Pythons. My name is Ben and this lovely lady is Rona. Rona is a Dreamsicle Ball Python. The Dreamsicle is a albino lavender pied and is possibly, well, is in my top three morphs in the ball python world. She's absolutely beautiful. Or you probably can't quite see on here, but I'll just see if I can focus in a bit. But the lavender's really coming through when they're young. Where the lavender marks are, they're pure white, so they change colour, which is really great. Now I've just come back from holiday and I was welcomed by a lovely, fantastic clutch, as you can see just here, from her. I did think she may have been gravid, and the timing was absolutely spot on from a pre-lay shed. So as you can see, I've got 8 fantastically and much bigger than the Woma eggs, and they're all cooking away in the incubator now. So with a bit of luck, touch wood, I will have some babies of these, which is a very pleasant surprise. I was expecting my other Woma Python to lay eggs, and she doesn't seem to have shown all of the signs, size, everything, but doesn't seem to have produced anything. So I'm just going to keep an eye on her for the time being. But this video is relatively short, but I thought I'd give a bit of an update on how the 4 little hatchlings are doing since they hatched, and you can see how they're sort of growing and what they look like. So let's see what happens. Actually, before I go into showing you the Woma Pythons, I'll just remind you of COVID. COVID's the sire to the Dreamsicles of the recent eggs that I've got, and he is absolutely stunning. One of the things about the pair that I've got are they are from different continents. So Rona is British captive bred, and COVID here is from the Netherlands. And so there's a good, a nice bit of a change from having somebody who might be a little bit more closely related. So, but he is absolutely stunning. I really hope that some of the youngsters come out with a nice balance. This is my sort of perfect balance for a pied. I really like this. Everybody's got their own sort of thing, but I think this is beautiful. So, and as adults, as you can see, is still stunning. So my favourite, I think. Right, that's the Dreamsicles out of the way. Now just to quickly show you how the baby Womas are coming on. Now if I've got them in my Rack Attack rub system, so they've got quite a bit of space. All been named. And here's the first one. So this guy I'm calling Lumpy. He's very, very cute. Now this is the only one that is still on quail at the moment, because three of the babies didn't accept sort of pinkies or fluff straight away. So I effectively butchered a, sounds awful this, but I took a day-old quail and butchered it by cutting the legs off and offering the legs and the head, which just makes it a bit smaller and easier for them to eat, because they're only little, and they were readily taken, not a problem at all. So really recommend that to anybody that may be struggling to feed these guys, is to try some quail. It certainly worked with the Boland's pythons as well. There's just something about the poultry seems to work really well. So this guy's still doing the quail, but I will be trying him a bit later on with the fluff. But he's great. Again, all I've got, a very simple setup. You can see just a little hide, a bit of a toilet roll because they're nice and disposable, small little bowl, and because with these rubs I've got like a divide. I've got one side which has got some lignosul in, so they've got some burrowing opportunities, and the rest is just your standard kitchen roll. It's just nice and easy to clean, keep tidy. They're really, really fun. I mean, they're so cool. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to selling these. I'll definitely be keeping one. And this is the one that's been, it was the first out of the egg and is absolutely stunning and is a really, really good eater. Has obviously been eating from the get-go. Stunning markings. Now, quite dark at the moment, and it's worth noting that the male and the female, which are show a picture of here, the mum and dad, who are now sort of over 6 years old, 6.5 years old. You can see they were very similar to this when they were babies, and you can see how that their markings have stayed quite, some good clarity on the markings, not sort of all blurred into each other, but how they've slightly got lighter, and I think they're just stunning. Really, really good examples of Woma Pythons. This one's probably the larger one that I've got at the moment. It's quite a goodie, very inquisitive. It's also, they're not aggressive. When they first come out, like most snakes, I imagine they get in a sort of a fret, posture. I think I may have a clip of one, just with his mouth slightly agape. But I mean, they don't even. They might try and strike, but it's not going to do you any harm. And literally, none of them have bit me. So it's brilliant. I've got this one. Mate, come on out. Whee. This one's doing quite well on the size front as well. Slightly lighter than the other ones, but again, beautiful. It's got a lighter belly as well. Really, really beautiful little snake. I mean, I know I've just showed you the Dreamsicles, but I've got to say, as babies, these are super cute, and they are got to be up there in the top. There's certainly top pythons to own, probably snakes as well, because they don't get too big. They're pretty fantastic feeders. I've never been bitten, and you hear stories of them sort of casually, sort of suddenly looking at your arm and deciding that's something that's worth eating. I've not had that. You just obviously keep aware, but you can see they're not. I mean, I've been handling them quite regularly, so if anybody does have one of these, they're going to be, pretty accustomed to being picked up and everything. Again, it's really nice actually. I haven't sexed these yet, so I will be getting around to doing that. And then finally, this one was the littlest, but is growing quite well because it's eating quite well. Again, slightly darker on the top, and beautiful orange head, which you probably can't see, but hopefully I've got a bit more footage when I've taken them outside and so forth. But yeah, look, it's really, really good. So I'm trying to, aside from going on holiday for a week, where they just had to suck it up, I'd fed them a bit just before I went, and I just going to aim for sort of every 5 days or so, and just keep a track on them, and hopefully, well, they're already showing that they've grown quite a bit already. So just be waiting for the next shed. So there you go. Very exciting, and I'm got to say I'm really chuffed to bits to have managed to breed these. I wish I'd managed to get more from the clutch of because it was a very good clutch of 13, to only get 4. I can't help be disappointed with that, but I'm everything's a learning curve. However long you've been in the hobby, you're always learning things. You tweak incubation methods, you do all of those sorts of things. Remembering last year I completely crashed and burned, lost all of the eggs. So it is pretty easy to do, particularly with the Woma eggs. Fingers crossed for the Dreamsicle clutch. I can't believe how big they are. I had eggs from a ball python or royal python many years ago, probably getting close to 30 years ago, and I completely messed them up. I did pretty much everything you can think of as wrong. The safest bet would have been just to have left the eggs with the mum, and it kind of put me off the breeding side of things. So go forward a few decades, and here I am. I've managed to get a few clutches. I've managed to hatch some stuff. So it is worth just persevering with these things. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. The progress on the snake room has been pretty rubbish, if I'm honest, and I'm kind of running out of money slightly because I've just been on holiday. So it's going to be a bit of a slow burner, but hopefully I'll be able to give an update on that in the coming weeks. And I'll keep you posted on the eggs. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button, and keep those comments coming in. It's great to hear from everybody, and look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care. Bye. Hi again. Sorry, before I go, I thought I'd just, because she's just shed out, just to remind you what Mum looks like. And so this is Mum, nice female stretch, and if I can borrow you again, little guy, just to show you the two together. I have no idea how this is coming out on camera, but you certainly can see the difference between something that's only maybe nearly 2 months old compared to something Woma Python that is 6.5 years old. It's a big snake, obviously, if you're not used to the giant snakes, but in the big scheme of things, it's nice and handleable. So I'll see if I can get the dad. Oh, look, another little one coming out. Getting them from all angles. Hold on, you get back in there, mate. In you go. Whee. And finally, this is Dad, and he is actually a bit bigger, but they were the same age. These guys, both the parents are not from the UK. They weren't captive bred in the UK. They were captive bred in Europe, which is obviously a little bit more challenging to get since Brexit. But you can see again his markings and her markings. He's got this amazing black stripe down the top, which you wouldn't have noticed when it was a baby, when he was a hatchling. And it's got developed and got a bit stronger as come along. He's definitely a bit heavier. And again, I'll take this other one out because he was quite keen. You can see the size difference. Hopefully you can see that because it's nuts, and see how the markings will probably end up being. So Look at that. The little ones. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that because it's quite useful, obviously, to see what the parents look like. And I think these guys are pretty good examples of Woma Pythons in the UK. They're, you know, 6.5 years old, and still look absolutely stunning. Lovely belly. So we, you know, hopefully those ones will grow the same. So we will see. Anyway, take care again. Speak soon.